All right, so I'm making this video to try to help moms and dads with autistic kids that are trying to figure out some way of getting your kid to eat things that they need to eat so that their bodies will get the nutrients they need to help their gut heal, to help their brains heal, and to try to get something in their diet that you know will actually help them. So this is our kitchen. This is as it stands. If you saw over here, it looks a little more like a war zone, but I'm making our 3.5-year-old, he's going to be 4 in a few months, lunch, and I'm just going to share with you what we've been doing to try and trick him into eating good things. Because if your kids are like ours, as soon as he knows if he wants to eat it or he's willing to try it, he's willing to try it. Secret Life of Pets 2 is his jam right now, so one of his favorite things, and what I would encourage you to use it to initiate the diet change is some of their favorite foods. So for him, he loves these chicken sausages. They're organic we get them from Costco, and the thing that I've noticed is foods that have a little bit of fat in them, sausages, organic hot dogs, burgers, things like that, where they've got some fat and grease in them that really helps to disguise some of the other things we're trying to get in him. And so I'm going to show you a little bit of how we're doing that. Get my angle down here. So show you what we got in here. I just did a steam on these. So I know what some of you are thinking. You see carrots and celery, and this is a little bit of sauerkraut and some onions, and you're thinking, no way, not gonna happen. Don't lose heart. We said the same thing, and we found a way to get them to eat. If you don't have one of these, it's like a slap chop kind of thing, you need to get one. It's a little mini food processor. So basically, I just steam the carrots and the broccoli enough that they're not completely raw, but not so much that they're complete mush. I've got raw onion that's maybe a cup. I don't measure anything. Throw that in there. That's probably a little too much, actually. Sauerkraut. Now with the sauerkraut, I did use a strainer and a paper towel and just try to get as much of the moisture out as possible. And then I'm going to throw these in here as well. Again, the reason we do it like this is because everything else we're trying to figure out in life, we don't have time to make this really neat and pretty. And you can see I'm just literally just throwing crap in here. So I try to do it so we've got enough for at least 2 days, because it's a mess and frankly I don't want to do it. So just, yeah, so full thing like that, just like that. I'll show you. So just put this thing down here and just stir it around. And you're basically making like a relatively nasty chutney kind of thing. I think that's the right word. Give it a few shakes around to just get everything mixed up. He was just trying to eat this. That's why this ball is up here. God knows what that is. So yeah, take it off. It looks like this. Absolute like doo-doo. So I'm going to put this in a Tupperware container, put it in the fridge. But what I've tried to do is I try to combine like three or four vegetables that have different flavors, but I try to do like one dominant flavor. So he likes green peppers. He won't eat green peppers, but he'll take the flavor. So this one I don't really know. It'll probably be the onion, but it's got enough of the other stuff in there. He'll actually eat broccoli. Like if we mush the broccoli up and put ketchup on it and he's not really paying attention, which is part 2 of our master strategy here. So I'll take this, I'll put it on a plate, And let's just give you an idea of how much we've been able to get him to eat here. So, in one sitting, like he'll eat solid, and he'll probably make a liar out of me today, but he'll eat like that much. So we're gonna pause here. I'm gonna finish cooking those, and then I'm gonna show you with him actually sitting in his high chair how we get him to eat this garbage, which is good for him, but I would not eat it. So we're back. You can see this is our living room in its disaster state because yours is the same way because your kid tears apart your stuff too. So just want to make you feel welcome in our home. So we've got his chicken sausages cut up like this, his pile of ish. We call it ish because, you know, keeps language clean, but that's what it is. So when we started doing this, now I'm going to feed him where he can see me. When we started doing this, I would literally, I get with stuff on the fork, or I would just hold it in my, I actually started just holding my hands, and I would come around here and just slip it in like the side of his mouth. Not put it on his tongue, just get it in his mouth, like over here. And I'll show you the sequence and the order. We always use organic ketchup. He likes ketchup. So I'll put a little bit of it on the pile of ish, and then mix it up just to help dull the ish, you know, and I haven't made it with this much onion. I really hope that I didn't sabotage myself, but the process is really the important part. You know, your kids, like Walker doesn't like tomatoes, like this got tomatoes in it, he spits it out. I think it's really more consistency thing because it is it's so watery, and that's why I dry the sauerkraut out, because it needs to be where he it's not runny. He doesn't like runny stuff. These are organic potato chips. I call this priming the engine. So whenever he sits down, I give him something he likes initially, just to get his taste buds going. So that's my lunch getting ready. So I'll take a small piece like this. Another thing, I mean, you guys know that have autistic kids. It's just you got to figure out what their requirements are for eating, for lack of a better term. So I just take a small piece like this. He will not eat anything that's warm. It's got to be like barely warm, room temperature. Like, that's it. So I take a small piece like this, dip it in ketchup, and you can see him licking it, just trying to get the flavor introduced here. So then what I do is I take a little bit, just a little bit of this stuff, and on this, and I dip it like this, I think you can see. So I dip the bottom on the ketchup because I want the ketchup to hit his tongue first, and when the ketchup hits his tongue first, that's what his taste buds taste. So the rest of this is masked by the ketchup hitting his tongue first. Ninja secret. Is that good? Jury's out, but it works. So I do a little bit and then ramp it up. By the end, if we have run out of the chicken sausage, I can literally just put more ketchup on this pile of ish and feed it to him straight. Didn't start that way, but as I've learned how to do this, where and you can see he's watching something, so he's already distracted, so he's really not paying that close of attention to what's going in his mouth. But the critical part is having the ketchup on the bottom. Don't pay attention to anything I'm saying. There you go. And every couple bites, I'll throw him another piece of the chip. A little bag of chips like this, will last us 2 meals. So he doesn't have a whole lot of this. So we try to keep these are gluten free. That's the other thing. Everything we did with him is gluten free, dairy free, soy free. So I'm going to put my email address, our email address, at the end of this. If you want other suggestions on things we're doing, because you just don't know how to do this, you don't know what options you have, where to get stuff, what tastes good, what is garbage, but don't want to spend the money because everything that's gluten-free or dairy-free or soy-free is like twice as expensive as everything else. So we get it. Like, you don't want to waste the money. But literally, like, this is how we've gotten him to start actually eating vegetables. If we put any of these things, um, um, so he's looking over, he sees it. So sometimes what I'll do when I think he's picking up what I'm laying down here and want to thwart the system, is I'll put the sausage on like this, and then I'll dip it in a little ketchup, and I'll just pile on this ish on the end like that, and then dip in ketchup that way. It does definitely have a strong onion flavor today, so I'm not gonna be kissing anybody after this, but that's how we've gotten actual raw vegetables into him. This is the only way he will take them. And this was just a creative solution because we had gotten to the point of just almost giving up. When he was young, when he was in his first year, he would eat anything. And then, between about month 12, 15, 16, everything went away. And some of you can reach your own conclusions with what I'm saying and what I'm not saying and the time frame that is. But everything, he hit every milestone for a 1-year-old. Every single one. He was dribbling a soccer ball down a hallway. He was clapping. He was starting to babble. And then in about 3-4 months, everything went away. And so his doctor, for those of you who don't know us, his doctor is an MD, but she's a naturopath, so everything is non-prescription, non-whatever, which has been really good. But a lot of supplements, and we're happy to answer any questions you have. But if you're like desperate to get your kid to eat something that is good and healthy for him, this is a really effective way that we found. And it's one of those things. Some days he is more willing to eat this than others, and it's just a matter of trying. Like, some days he'll push this away 3 or 4 times. I just keep throwing a chip at him until he's distracted, and then I throw a piece in there. Once he gets the first bite or two and his taste buds get accustomed to the flavor, we're usually gold from there. So if you don't have one of those food processors, it is worth its weight in gold because it keeps the preparation to a minimal. The carrots were just out of the bag. They're organic baby carrots. Same with the broccoli, the onion. I don't know if it's organic or not, but it was maybe a quarter of an onion and maybe a quarter to probably about a third of a cup of sauerkraut that had been squeezed out all the juice, and he's eating it. So I've got probably another 2, maybe 3 meals worth of ish in the fridge now, and like I said, we'll give this to him with anything. He'll eat chicken nuggets, the organic chicken nuggets we get those from Costco as well. The hot dogs, any kind of sausage that's not spicy, and burgers, things like that. Basically what we package this stuff with. So if we can help you out, our information has come up.